I wanted to come back to, you mentioned something that I think we should unpack, and that is the property being near power lines can have lending issues.
Yeah.
Yes, tell me about that.
Yeah,
tell us all about that.
It's an uncommon one, and you just as a valuer, you grow up and you're basically a risk assessor for the bank. So that's the mindset I bring into it that not many people have.
That's cool.
Which the high clearance power lines, if you're within 50 meters, it has to be flagged as a risk. It's just the rules and regulations around what we're meant to do.
Why is that a risk?
Well, if something were to happen to the power lines and you're within
damage the property,
so it increases the risk. The banks want to know that.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it personally, but obviously the rules are there for us to tick boxes for a reason.
Yeah.
Also, the desirability generally within that, it's only 50 meters, so it's not like you can be near a power line, you can see it, but if you're further than 50 meters away from your boundary, then it doesn't affect it at all.
Sam's looking out the window here for power lines.
Well, it was drilled into us, It was like always look up, look around, and I've also negotiated on properties, got down to it, and then the power lines are there, right? And you're like, I've got to pull out because it's not in the client's best interest. And it should have been flagged earlier. Don't get me wrong, that was my mistake. But the whole reason around that, I'm digressing, is that the power lines in different locations, they do look differently. So
So when you say it's got lending issues, obviously for the bank it's a bit more of a risk. Does that mean it could be that because it's within that 50 meters to the dwelling, those power lines, that it could be possible, and I'm making this up completely, so I could be wrong, is it maybe possible that finance doesn't get approved because of this?
Yep.
Or okay.
So you only have to have, they only do an 80% loan to value ratio. So what that means is that if you're going in and you only have a 10% deposit, you don't have the ability to transact on that property.
Yeah.
So you're out. And
the risk is too high for the banks. If you've got a low LVR, there's not enough equity in the property to fix some sort of damage if it was to happen with a power line.
But if you can't buy the property anyway, if you've only got $100,000 cash, as an example, you can't transact on it. But what I look further into it, why I don't want to be there, is because of those restrictions that are there from the bank. It hinders your resaleability in the future. Mm-hmm. So it's just like,
and hinders you pulling out equity, I guess, probably.
Well, you still pull out equity 80% loan to value ratio anyway.
That's true.
That's like there's a key risk that not many people look at. Also, for renovation risks, if properties aren't suitable for rent as is, then the valuer can go in there and flag that there's a lot of damages that's there, and the bank then know, all right, well, we've got to only lend up to a certain percentage on this value, which it tends to always be that 80%. They want to see at least a 20% buffer, because you can't generate income out of it, and repairs need to be taken into account. So it's a slightly higher risk from their point of view. A key way around that is actually getting quotes, formal quotes done up, and you put that forward with your finance application. Mm-hmm. So the valuer is going, all right, well, I'll do this on an as-if complete basis. So you can get the lending, which is, here's all the quotes. The property is being purchased for $1 million. It needs $100,000 worth of work. So here's the quotes to justify that as if complete. Once these works are done, what's this probably going to be worth? Mm-hmm. And it's the valuer to go in and go, contract price is $1 million, quotes to fixes of $100,000. You'd at least assume that it's a $1.1 million purchase. Often that's a detracting factor for buyers. So they actually, sometimes you get valuations that might come in at 1.15, 1.2, if sales can support it. But valuers are risk averse, so they'll always take the lower end because it's just that conservative approach that for them, why take the higher risk of giving these people an extra $100,000 equity when they don't have to?
Yeah.